The Tree of Life presents some very fascinating questions. How did various species survive in their evolution, resulting in such a diversity of life forms? And why did many vanish? To contemplate these interesting questions with examples, let us look at the challenging environment created by volcanic eruptions. Early life forms on Earth evolved under such conditions. The volcano Mount Agung on the island of Bali has erupted multiple times in recent years. The resulting debris sliding into the sea has created a largely bare bottom. For a species to survive in this very harsh environment, it needs to apply all the tricks in the evolution survival manual. As a result, this environment contains some very diverse small animals. Commonly denoted as critters, they have received the attention of underwater photographers because they often are of an immense beauty and often spectacular in their appearance, physiology, and behavior. There are dive guides in the Tulamben Bali area trained in finding these often very well hidden critters, so their dive clients with great excitement can photograph them. The underwater photographic equipment used is highly specialized, with special optics and lights needed to photograph and film the critters that often are incredibly small, sometimes just a few millimeters, smaller than a raisin or the size of a grain of rice. The spectacular diversity of critters found here have evolved and survived based on three fundamental abilities. Number 1, to hide or show some ability to deter predators. Number 2, to get the kind of food needed. Number 3, to find a mate to multiply. Let us look at some interesting examples. Because of the bare ocean bottom, there are not many places to hide. The closest is to quickly bury in the sand. The fastest way to hide is to develop a quick escape tunnel in the sand, perhaps maintained by the help of a shrimp, in a nice symbiotic partnership. The many watchful eyes of the garden eel community provide an early warning and good protection from predators. However, the brute force approach of rays and other fish to filter the sand for small critters shows the vulnerability of hiding in the sand. Hiding in a small crevasse or hole in a solid rocky formation may provide a better protection. However, there may not be many such places close by for a quick escape. Even this more solid approach is not foolproof because of a formidable predator, namely the octopus, with its long, very elaborately developed arms that can reach deep into hiding places. The octopus is also well developed to find critters hiding in seashells like the hermit crabs. The color changes are commonly found in critters that can be quite stationary in their position to their local environment. This is done, for example, by the frogfish that exists in different colors. Many critters have evolved based on a different approach to that of physically hiding, namely hiding visually by camouflaging, like the seahorse and the filefish. To hide visually, a critter must then mimic the color and shape of its immediate local environment. The octopus is the king of disguise. It can very quickly not only change its color, but also its shape and texture to match the environment. Besides changes in body color, the critter may physically attach external components to its body, not only dead material, but even various living things, making it a very effective camouflage. Having a lot of hair can by itself be a camouflage, and is especially effective when containing a lot of the particles that float around. Another amazing way of camouflaging is to make portions of the body transparent, so the background is visible through parts of the body. The critter will then appear incoherent and confusing to predators. All these different evolutionary ways of surviving make the critter population amazingly diverse and spectacular in appearance, making it a tremendous enjoyment to photograph them. This is especially the case when overcoming the often big challenge of finding them. It is a great enjoyment you share with your professional dive guide, who you so much depend on in finding them. Developing means of deterring predators is an alternate evolutionary strategy to that of hiding from them. Commonly, that is done by being venomous or poisonous. For that to be effective, it needs to be visually announced to the predators. That is commonly done by a spectacular body coloration. That is exactly what makes many of the critters so incredibly beautiful. Critter predators may also be parasites. The evolutionary defense may be the development of a symbiotic relationship with another critter that hangs around to feast on such parasites and perhaps benefit from a free ride to grab other food while traveling. The beautiful emperor shrimp riding on a nudibranch is a great example. In the evolution, some critters have developed a brute force to deter predators, like developing powerful claws. The mantis shrimp can defend itself with extremely powerful strikes with its raptorial claws. The strike is so fast and powerful that it can break crab shells, clam shells, and even aquarium glass. Most amazingly, the mantis shrimp has the most complex eyes in the animal kingdom. It is capable of seeing polarized light with a much wider light spectrum than us, having as many as 16 color channels in comparison to humans only having 3. This is a tremendous advantage, not only in finding prey, but also to more clearly see and identify predators looking for a delicious lobster-like tail. So important for the survival of the species, the mantis shrimp can pack a great punch against predators to protect its vulnerable eggs. The diversity of the critters has also been shaped by their evolutionary ability to get food needed for their survival and reproduction in this largely bare environment shaped by volcanic eruptions. One evolutionary trick is to find a niche in the food web to avoid competition for that food source from other species. For example, nudibranchs are specialist feeders. Each species may eat only one or just a few prey species. Amazingly, they can take in specific toxic food that their body can handle to make them toxic to eat for predators. Incredibly, that includes stealing and swallowing stinging cells from jellyfish or hydroids. The nudibranch can transport them through their digestive tract without triggering them and store them in body parts most exposed to predators to use as their own defense weapons. The beautiful harlequin shrimps are specialized in a single unique food source, namely the starfish, which hardly is touched by any other animal in the sea. They live and work together in lifelong monogamous pairs and keep the starfish alive while feeding on it, ensuring a fresh food supply. Amazingly, in spite of their size, they are able to flip the starfish around to get to its tube feed and tissue. Small crustaceans only move slowly. They do not have the ability, like fish, to search a large area for food. A fascinating evolutionary trick for some small crustaceans has been to turn that problem around. Instead of getting to the food, let the food get to them. Suspended in the ocean are a lot of particulate matters. Some of it is organic and digestible, like plankton and other microorganisms. The evolutionary trick is the development of an exoskeleton and legs with a lot of hair that can catch the food that is conveniently delivered by the current right to the food table. Another amazing evolutionary trick for getting food is to grow the food on the body itself, and essentially have the food source growing on the body like a little garden that receives a lot of attention. For reef fish, the ribbon eel may appear more as a reef vegetation than a predator due to its ribbon-like dancing, its unusual head shape, and the beautiful colors. It has been observed that some of the small reef fish swim surprisingly close to the ribbon eel to be an easy target. To find a mate and reproduce is essential for the survival of the species. That is a challenge for critters being far apart and only moving slowly. That problem is solved by tiny crustaceans and other critters being guided by species-specific pheromone chemicals released into the water currents to locate mate. The mating behavior may be synchronized to increase encounters in certain specific gathering places, tagged with pheromones, or initiated by certain events. Some nudibranchs have overcome the problem by linking together and traveling in a train-like manner to be close when biologically ready to mate. Due to its need for being close to its special underground escape route, the ribbon eel has a quite limited mating opportunity. In an innovative way, the evolution has found a way to increase the chance of reproduction by the ribbon eel undergoing a sex change. To find so much beauty and diversity of life in such a desolated small micro-world of the ocean is an example and a true testament to the fact that given the opportunity, Mother Nature will bestow upon us wonderful gifts. There are things to be learned from all this. In the immense universe, our Earth is also a tiny micro-world with the same problems. To keep our world a beautiful place with the beauty and exciting experiential richness that diversity provides, we must embrace and promote the opportunities that make this possible. We must fully understand all the different ways that we can make a difference and act responsibly. Individually, we can act in an environmentally friendly way in our daily lives. Collectively, we can ensure that politicians and leaders that do not act responsibly to protect our world will not stay in power. Collectively, we can defend and protect cultural diversity and freedom that is so much under attack by self-serving leaders and politicians. In our busy life, we must stop for a moment. We must ask ourselves the question, are we heading in the right direction? The answer is clear. In many ways, we are not.